like to welcome everybody. I'm Lynn, Mayor of the City of Fort Oglethorpe, and we have a very, very special guest with us today. Denia Reese, School Superintendent, Catoosa County School System. Through her leadership in the school boards in Catoosa County, last year you hear about taxes. They've actually reduced your taxes. Denia, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you. Tell us a little about you and how you got into education.
Well, of course, I'm an LFO graduate, 1980 graduate of Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe High School, and I had some very special teachers growing up. In fact, I guess some of the people in my life who had the most influence on me were teachers in Catoosa County, and so I wanted to do the same thing with children, and I decided to become a teacher. And went to school to do that. Came back and was hired here in Catoosa at Graysville Elementary, and so that was 30 years ago. And here I am today, and am fortunate to work with some wonderful people in our school system.
Well, we the taxpayers of Catoosa County, Georgia, are very fortunate to have you, and we all have teachers, and you touched on this. That special teacher or two that we remember forever. I've got them, you do, and I guess everybody does. Teachers are special people. They
really are, and we have the best teachers in the state of Georgia here in Catoosa, bar none. We have wonderful employees, from bus drivers to cafeteria workers, to maintenance men, to folks who are really dedicated to making the lives of children better in our community. And so it is an honor for me to work with such wonderful people.
And you know, something a lot of people don't really think about, we have school board members that really work so very hard, and they're doing it for the good of the community, not for anything financially, but to help.
They really are. You know, I consider being on the school board to be a calling. Because these folks give countless hours of service to the community and are responsible for the education of over 11,000 students. We're considered a large school system in the state of Georgia. You know, people think about the big large school systems like Cobb and Gwinnett and Forsyth, and those are mega systems. But in the state of Georgia, the majority of school systems have an enrollment of below 5,000 students. And here in Catoosa, our enrollment is almost 11,000. So we're serving a large amount of students in our system. And that takes a lot of work. And our school board members put in a lot of hours in service for that. And I wanted just to say a special tribute to Billy Joe McDaniel. He passed away just recently. He was a board member in Catoosa County for 38 consecutive years.
Billy Joe was a very special person. He was a good friend of mine. I was in Savannah when he passed away, and he truly is going to be missed.
He really is. He always taught me that anything can be worked out if you just sit down and talk about it over a cup of coffee. And, you know, I learned so much from Billy Joe McDaniel, and I appreciate his service. I was fortunate enough to serve with him for 10 years, and so we greatly miss him.
He was a special individual. Tell us a little about what's going on right now in the Catoosa County school system.
Okay. Well, as I said, we started this year, and our enrollment now is almost at 11,000. We are having a wonderful school year. It's been a very smooth start. I know you've seen those yellow buses on the road, and so we're getting ready to complete our first grading period, actually. So things are underway, and of course you see a lot of things going on right now, a lot of activities. Grandparents' Day to football games to fall festivals, lots of things going on in the school system, but a lot of learning. Every year I take a tour of every school as soon as school starts, and I go to every classroom, and I speak to every employee while I'm there. And you know, it is a tremendous gift that when I see what's going on in the classroom, the students learning, the teachers' activities that they're providing for the students, it is an incredible gift. And so lots of things are going on, lots of good things, and you know, it's been a wonderful start to the school year this year.
You touched on Grandparents' Day, and all my grandchildren are out of elementary school now. Graysville Elementary School is kind of special to me too, and to go to Grandparents' Day at Graysville, and they're all out of Graysville now. You see all these grandparents and their family members, and education truly does begin at home, and they get the support of their family members. And if you look at the quality of life in Catoosa County, and it truly relates. Every leader in this nation had a special school teacher. And we're lucky we've got a special school teacher and a school superintendent too with us today. But tell us a little about some of the construction that's going on in Catoosa.
Oh, sure. A lot of the construction that is going on right now, you don't see. A lot of the things that have happened, improvements, renovations. You know, most folks who have been here as long as you and I have know that our school buildings, some of them are over 50 years old. And we also understand how important it is to maintain those facilities, to make sure that we are taking care of the community's investment in our schools. And so this summer we had lots of renovations going on inside the building. It's easy that, you know, everyone sees LFO and the new construction there, the new gymnasium, but what they may not have seen are the updated science classrooms that were just completed, the kitchen renovations, new dishwasher, hoods for our cooking equipment. LFO has almost a brand new roof over the entire building. And so those things have been going on over the summer. Battlefield Elementary has a complete new roof. Cloud Springs Elementary has a renovated media center. The entire school was painted inside just recently. West Side has 12 new classrooms with new carpet. It was completely painted inside, and we just hooked on to the sewer system. And so we were very glad to get that completed over the summer. And a new fence around the school. We have roofing, also roofed the gymnasium at Cloud Springs. So lots of things going on inside the building that perhaps you don't see when you drive by. Recently we just dedicated the new theater and auditorium at Ringgold High School. So folks who drive by there will notice that very quickly. And a whole new roof on Tiger Creek Elementary. So, you know, we're very fortunate that our community supports ESPLOS, which is the Education Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax. And that enables us to maintain our buildings inside and out, make sure that our classrooms are safe, that you know, all of our heating and air conditioning units are maintained, that we get those new roofs that are so important, that we're able to purchase new buses, and that we are able to purchase surveillance equipment. Many of our schools just recently had surveillance equipment and camera updates inside the building and out. And so we've been able to do a tremendous amount of work this past 2 years. Just to touch on Ringgold, as you know, completing the theater also completed disaster recovery for Ringgold. We had not been able to rebuild the art classrooms. The Keller Halls Art Center was completely destroyed in the tornado, and that was the one area that we had not completed. And so when we added the theater, we also added the art classrooms back inside the building. And so the completion of that project actually ended disaster recovery for the Ringgold campus.
And you know, all of those things cost money. You and the school board were able to reduce taxes a little this year. And I know you mentioned special local option sales tax. And we're very fortunate the citizens have voted it in. But we're very fortunate also is every time you see a car from out of the county, out of the state, and they're spending money at wherever, I always kind of look at them and smile and say, thank you, you just reduced my taxes. You helped us all out. And about 60+% of all the money that's collected in Catoosa County and the city of Fort Oglethorpe through sales tax is from people that don't live here. So we just thank them.
Oh, and I do the same thing. Anytime I stop to get gas, I look at the tags around me when I park, and I do notice that because, you know, they're helping to fund these capital improvement projects that we're able to do. You know, you think about how much it costs to roof your house if you have to do that. So when you think about roofing an entire school, it's a tremendous amount of money. And I believe that we have some of the most well-maintained facilities around. And you know what? Our kids deserve that. And we're very fortunate because we do enjoy the community support, because I do believe that the people in Catoosa County value education. And so, you know, they're willing to, when they do spend a dollar for a penny, to go to making sure that we maintain our buildings and that we're able to handle growth when it does happen.
And you know, students have got to be comfortable to learn well. And you've done a very special job, you and the school board and your staff and the teachers. Dena, it's just a pleasure to have you here in Catoosa County, and it's a pleasure to have you with us here today.
Well, thank you.
And, is there a few words you'd like to tell everybody?
Well, I would like to let our citizens know that the one thing that is new in Catoosa County is that, you know, we understand that times are changing, and technology is something that we have to make sure that we're up to date with. So we have started an online academy for our students, so that our students not only can take classes in their traditional high school, but they can take classes online. Some students need flexible scheduling. Some students have challenges in their life where they have to work certain hours to support families. And so, you know, needs of students are changing. And this year we have about 150 of our students who are enrolled in our online academy. And so the next phase, the next phase of our 5-year strategic plan is to make sure that we are maintaining that technology, making sure that we have the infrastructure in our classrooms so that students can take advantage of technology, because we know that in the future they are going to need to be proficient in technology. And so we see, you know, our community and our parents telling us, make sure that you're providing those opportunities for our students. So technology will be the next phase of our strategic plan, and it will be a very main part of our next eSplost. Is to, fortunately with eSplost you can provide technology in the classroom. And so, you know, we're looking forward to the future. That'll be something that I think our community will appreciate and see the need for.
Dena, thank you very much for being with us today, and really do thank you for being here. And thank you for the great job you and your staff do.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. I'm Lynn, Mayor of the City of Fort Oglethorpe. I'd like to, as I said, thank Dena for being with us today, and thank her and her staff and the school board for the educational system that we have here in Catoosa County, Georgia. That's what makes our county a very special place. Thank you very much for being with us today.